Once again, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you join us from. My name is Jamal. Tonight, we are watching the Borderland Liberia. I have a full house. Tonight's the 3rd of July. We are coming to you live from mainland Europe. Tonight, to discuss the key this point tonight, to discuss some events that made news over the week in Liberia and around the world. I got a good friend from across Europe. I'll stay from a far left, where I sit. That was Francis Monomensa joining me from Sweden as well. He's the commanding general for Europe for Liberia and calling EFLA chief. Then I have a man at the bottom there in the red shirt. There's an orange or red. That's Mark Judafa, also joining us from Sweden. A good friend. Also one of oh yeah, sorry, I can't see friend. I'm a little bit colorblind.
Blood red, yeah.
Right, he's joined a good friend, also a good panelist on the show. Joining us for Sweden as well. Sweden. You know his face, man called a good friend of the microphone. That's I don't know his name anyway. So anyway, that's Linfo Egon. If Linfo joined us from Sweden as well, all these gentlemen joined us from the Scandinavian countries. So I'm coming from Norway. You're from Scandinavia, right?
Yeah.
We
are from Scandinavia, but in different countries. Like you from West Africa, but Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone, we are all different countries.
The Vikings.
Yeah, we are one thing in common is we are Vikings.
Right, you call them the Vikings. So, gentlemen, join us tonight. Tonight we'll be discussing good topic tonight. I will share the topic with you. Though we'll go for a quick break. Then we'll tell you what is it tonight. Tonight will be Francis. Can you read us the topic for the audience, please?
The nice discussion points. Dual citizenship law, former Justice Janet Ipuche's diaspora ballot rights. Second item is boycotts anti-illegal mining task force or a co-op. Then we have the third item, the third discussion on the talking point with arresting the Senate has ordered the arrest of the GLS Menzies boss, what's his name? Paul King.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, in the $19 million drug saga. So I mean, there have been crowds for that, or the people across the country about the transnational, drug trafficking, that has become a hub, So yeah. So these are fascinating discussions that we're gonna have this evening. So grab your popcorns, get your beer, get your sodas, and then let's get rolling.
Whatever. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. So we want you to share the show. Please also subscribe to this show so we can always alert you when you're on the show. We do this every Tuesdays and Fridays. Don't forget also we have on Saturdays we have the story with Francis Monoman. So he speaks on the real issues of story called the story. That's the topic. On the Sunday is Paul, the Lord Children with the story, the audience with the Lord himself. So we were going to come back to you. Please, like my colleague said, grab something, just buck it up for the show. We're going to run you down the full house. We're going to take a quick break with our national anthem. We'll be with you in a minute.
Let's try let did you want your enemies they want see me photo kill and tell me soko they want me to die oh did you want your enemies they want see me photo kill and chase hey good become a tana call you hold me with the line call you want to hear worry become a labor only one school and carry they won't eat me on lelo. My kidna only won't offer. And now for the nobody want for me, I will see you. But God care for me, you will get real. I get money in my business. They try let need you water. Enemies they won't see me. Poto poto girl and chain they will kill me. Soko soko. They just want me to die. Bola lao. Oh need you water. Enemies they won't see me. Poto poto girl and chain they will kill me. Soko soko. They just want me to die. Bola lao. My blessing rap ya like plenty. Bokule sardine plenty like cartoon with jalona. They in the heart, they boss in the medulla, oh yeah. Blessing can follow me, all of my people let me. Because my eye clean clipper can fight for me, like can fight for me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessing can follow me, all of my people let me. Because my eye clean clipper can fight for me, like can fight for me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oluwa, Baba, you cover my mama, pray for me. You're just waiting, see. And I see nothing. But your belly see me ask for me, you not see me. Can't you won't hold me with you. With the la line, Kaleo. They won't do you and worry. Become a labor, only one school and carry. They won't eat me on lelo. My kidna only one off you. And now for the nobody want for me, I will see you. But okay for me, you okay, I just money my business, They try let need you water. Enemies they won't see me. Poto poto girl and chain they will kill me. Soko soko. They just want me to die. Bola lao. Oh need you water. Enemies they won't see me. Poto poto girl and chain they will kill me. Soko soko. They just want me to die. Bola lao. I tell them freeze. Joy allow me to breathe. I'm living my life with ease. That lippy and I ain't no competition or freeze. You please money. I'm living my life with ease. My kidna only one off you. And now for the nobody want for me, I will see you. But okay for me, you okay, I just money my business, They try let need you water. Enemies they won't see me. Poto poto girl and chain they will kill me. Soko soko. They just want me to die. Bola lao. Oh need you water. Enemies they won't see me. Poto poto girl and chain they will kill me. Soko soko. They just want me to die. Bola lao. Need you water.
Wow. I want to get this thing from here. That's a typical Liberian song there called CIOCO. Guys, welcome again. Jamal is here from live from the city of Manchester, guys. We got something big going on here. That's a World Cup. That's all we talk about World Cup before we go on to the main topic. I know we have 10 African teams in the game, and I know everybody here likes football. So I will go to Mark and myself be discussing next time we start. I always start with Mark. So this time I want to leave him alone. I want to start with Francis. Francis, the chances of Africans in the World Cup from we in the 32 knockout, yeah. We started will be going to the 16 knockout. So tell me how do you look at it? Then I'll go to
so far from where I sit and look at things, there are only 2 African teams left because the way some of our favorite teams were eliminated, like the Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Congo, it speaks volume. All the teams were eliminated in the same fashion. Last minute of time goals was cool. So I think the technical team, the manager and other people, I think they need to, that's something that need to look at strategically. Can we not maintain our lead? I don't know. People complain about the substitution. I'll just give a quick I don't know, inference to the game England and what do you call it?
DRC game.
Congo. Look, England was attacking, Congo was attacking, and the guy who scored the goal for Congo, that Chemsey, what his name was. That guy had the English defense on the foot.
Yeah.
He was the one who was taking the ball to them, and England was coming in the middle. They were actually relying on counter attack. So as soon as they took that guy from the game, the coach made a substitution, and they brought out that in. But what England, he was not of move. He was not tactical. The kid was very skillful. So what they were England knew they didn't have any
Defense.
up front. Only Vasa, what got Vasa, I don't know what up there. But anyway, it's a lesson learned. African football has improved.
No. I mean, before I go to Francis, I mean, link for before I go to link for and Mark, you want you to pick up on that point, that part. You said what was actually lacking is that they took this guy off. Is it technical skills? Is it experience, or is this a matter of because they're on the big stage? Most of the players they're playing on the big stage. What is
the big stage? I think the game plan for most of the African teams was, I mean, at around the 80th minute, the 85th minute, they want to go to extra time. They don't want to play to play, to score, to have the game over. They were all begging on extra time, and all the goals they scored on the African teams were all on extra time. That's the time goals.
Right. Okay.
Either the defense was so crowded, and there were a lot of mistakes in the defense.
All right, Mark, don't you think that could be a way of experience? I mean, the coaches, like you got to coach, our coaches handle games because they will see the loophole. They say, well, this is a loophole. Let's capitalize on that. Because if we
I think it's a player mentality too. I don't think it's. I think
the god on the field there is the coach. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, but I think the player mentality. I mean, I play football at a certain level. My player are at a more professional level. But
Mark, which might play for?
Well, yeah. The thing, France.
They just blow your cover. Tell me what you play for. Which team you play for?
France couldn't have said it any better. More better.
No, you didn't answer my question, Mark. The people want to know which team you play for first, man. Come on. You're trying to judge that. You want to be a politician here. Tell me which team you play for.
Let's get over the show, bro.
Okay, guys.
So the thing is that my brother couldn't have said it any better. Football is a mind game and it's scientific in its own word. You understand? So in the sense that you must have people that are able to read a game, most especially the midfielder and the central defense. They must be able to. There should be people that have that mentality of reading the game, and then two, the technical staff. They should be able to read the game at a certain point. You can't be leading 2-0 like the game of Senegal, 2-0, 5 minutes of the game, and you sit there and Belgium come from behind. So that means the coach and the players on the field, they make some tactical error. The Senegalese team, the midfield was young, but if you watch the game carefully, you saw Sadio Mane trying to tell them, hey guys, calm down. We are 2-0 up front. We have to control the game. We have to determine the pace of the game. You can't be leading 2-0 up front and you keep attacking. No, 5 minutes of the game, you hold the ball and you distribute the ball and make the opportunity team to run behind it. The same case with the Côte d'Ivoire. They have good players on the bench that should have come in than the one that they brought in, for example, Lewon Kamara. He played in Saudi, he played somewhere in Turkey. He's a very good player that could read the game. So I expected the coach to have brought him in instead. But last minute of time, there where the problem was, and the technical staff have to be blamed for the losses. And that's what bring me to Morocco. The Moroccan team is from start to, from the goalkeeper to the attack. They are all disciplined when it comes to reading the game. They are all disciplined when it comes to how they determine the game. Maybe watch how Morocco perform against Holland. But however, we see Egypt making error here last minute of time. To the start of the first half. And let's see how Ghana going to perform and can provide.
Second half, they 1-1. Our teams, the African teams, man.
So it's disappointing actually.
Right. Linfa, sad story for us. The football pundits on the platform just made an analysis. I mean, I didn't play football. I did. The two guys are more close to a sport than I do. I would just be sitting down there on the sideline watching or making commentary. Linford, what do you think? Well, it's a chance for us. Which one is taking us to the league? Mm-hmm.
First of all, I didn't watch all of the games, but those ones that I watched, like the Senegal game, I started watching the Senegal game from the 34th minute.
Right.
And I saw Senegal play to my satisfaction. They were leading 2-0. I didn't see their goals because, like I said, all two of their goals came early. So the second half was what I watched completed. And like Francis said, imagine you leading the people 2-0. At this point, the technical coach, everybody on that bench, you should advise your players. The first thing is, now we know that FIFA will not allow you to hold the ball if you got a throw in, free throw, do not allow you to delay the ball for 5 seconds. We know all that one. But when the ball is playing on the field, hold the ball and make sure that you, like I say, you distribute the ball among yourselves. Give the people like 5 minutes before anything can even touch the ball. And that's why when I was playing football, we'll go train, we'll do these short passes, one touch. Okay, that's when you put that into action. Because it's like, when you're doing the training, when you're doing the short passes, the man who chasing the ball, you'll not touch the ball for some time. That's why you do that training. That one trick. If that doesn't work, then do not play the ball back to your keeper, because the more the people play, if you watch again, it was Senegal was trying to defend at 2 goals. You see, they kept playing, and the whole pressure was on them in the back, which is one small mistake. But the second goal on Senegal was actually, for me, I was a goalkeeper as well. It was actually the fault of the goalkeeper. He was in a goal. He made a 2 seconds mistake. The ball was already descending on the head of the people. Then he left the goal to come. Okay, if you know if they make crossing the ball and you want to go there, you be first to be there. But he decided to go. But that's why when before he could hit the ball, the ball had already landed on the man. And so when Belgium equalized, when it was 2-2 now, the whole Senegalese team, the defense became disorganized because the foul was not getting the ball again. So they were playing Lukaku fell, and the presence of Lukaku made them afraid, and so he scored about 2. Yeah, I know the height of the guy. Of course, you got to look at Senegalese players too. They are tiny short guys and all these things. So I think it was several things working. Then the penalty is where I got my problem with FIFA. That same referee rev one of the African teams go where I think it was England against Congo, one other team. And there was a clear penalty, but that man never called for it. He did not even consult the VAR. But this particular foul that I got played, that wasn't even a foul because the men were on the ground already. They were not standing. It was a defender that was up. I mean, it was a striker that was running. And the man, as a defender, you got to slap under the ball.
He shouldn't have called for penalty during that kind of time.
Yeah,
and the penalty was not.
Even the commentator. I want to ask you guys.
Yeah,
I want to ask you guys. There was something that Harry Kane were trying to call for penalty. Well, it would have been an African thing when he dived. It was cancelled.
Yeah, he died.
He died.
If that had been an African team, what would you say? Would you notice that was?
He dived almost 1.5 meters, which is not in the game.
All right, guys, thank you very much. That was a good. If you just joined us, this is about Liberia. We are coming to you live from Milan, Europe. We are discussing at least what's happening in Liberia. But today we just because it's quite exciting to talk about World Cup when we have 10 African countries participating. But I think the chances of the African players going to.
Chima, I just want to add something.
Go on, sorry. Go on.
Yeah. No, this game, the first thing, FIFA. That's my own opinion. FIFA is the most corrupt organization on earth. This organization, you cannot sue them and they cannot sue you. They do sue you easily and you can sue them. FIFA, that's why if every time people hear about Musa Belite and FIFA and Liberian program be making Musa Laro. Okay, Musa Laro, let FIFA go sue you now. FIFA can never sue. That's all. Imagine that the FIFA president would go and give his own peace prize to Trump just to please Trump. Now, that penalty that was awarded to Belgium, if it was Senegal that had that kind of situation, you think they were going to award it? No. So these people, they even surprised. One of the Norwegian commentators, he made a statement when Senegal was leading 2-0. He made a statement. He said, surprisingly, Senegal is leading 2-0. And then the question that came to my mind is, all the countries that went were they all equal because they all qualified to go to the World Cup. So why would you say surprisingly, as if to say Senegal people that they are all amputated, that they're not playing the ball, that when they score it is surprising. So this thing is a calculated thing. No, let me tell you, African teams from the onset of the World Cup, African teams have been making efforts. They try this. The farthest they can go is the knockout stage, and we've seen it. Even if any that's why I always say, if any African want to cross this knockout stage to go to quarterfinal team, if you grab anything, beat them, correct, 10 goals straight, at least score 10 goals clearly. Let people see it. Don't depend on 1, 2, 3 goals. No, we saw it because they didn't want Senegal to go to extra time with Belgium, so they have to get that penalty. Look at the guy when he saw the VAR, he stood there for long, then he came back, then he started explaining why the penalty was awarded. You need to convince us. Everybody was looking to see.
Francis, you want to say something? Or Mark?
Yeah, but quickly, Linfo, I mean, you remind me about the last World Cup that this guy, Asamoah, the guy from Ghana.
Yeah,
he missed
John
a penalty. Yeah, John Asamoah. There was a goal. Any referee would have allowed the goal instead of them telling to kick penalty where the chance would be 50-50. You see what I mean? So that's another calculated attempt by the West African team now to go further. We know our own problems, know where we stand, the kind of hindrances that we have, but we still don't take advantage because if any ref that was a fair play, he allowed the play to go on. The Ghana score, he canceled the goal, and then I think Uruguay, and they went to one of the penalties, and Uruguay scored and won. You know,
yeah.
That's why Linford and Jose Mourinho said when you are coaching Real Madrid, you should know that you play against 12 people, the ref and the team that you play against. So always learn to kill the game.
Yeah, this is a sad thing. So we here tonight. I know we are not discussing football, but I was just trying to say it's very important that we made mention about participation in the World Cup and what is happening to the Africans. My colleagues here are making a personal points on how they see things at the World Cup, which is some very mentioned like Linfo and Linfo is saying it's not fair for the Africans. Why? I see Mark and Francis think that we need some technical knowledge in order to make our.
But first of all, the post started with such let's go my game. By the way, the host country welcome and treated the African teams. So that was the problem.
About that, Mark, when you say that nothing happened to the European countries, and that
it never happened to the European countries.
We're not mentioning them in the newspapers. People don't talk anything about it. Like what happened to the Congolese team? They were strict.
I think the parliament somewhere.
Ebola or treated them for Ebola. All the boys live in America and they live in Europe. 95% of the team, I said 99% of the Congolese team, they were all born in France. They were born in Belgium.
The Senegalese team were almost tripped on the tarmac. They were right on the top. Was it the Senegalese or somebody?
The
Senegalese.
The Senegalese was also searched. They were also well searched on the time, on the tarmac before they get on.
Yeah, and you didn't see that they were coming. They were coming one by one with their hands up like that.
Okay, guys. They stop. The European politician demand FIFA addresses ethnic complaint over Trump winning peace prize. Yeah, and the European, they are not okay with the way that this whole World Cup saga went on when it comes to the treatment of Africans and the way Trump, like Linford said, won this, was handed this thing by this FIFA corrupt president.
Yeah.
So you look at Lionel Messi, the kind of foul Lionel Messi got away with, and you look at the foul that was played on I think was an Algerian player, the same thing, and he got it was I think a Congolese player or someone who got a red card from an African team, but Messi never got no yellow card. So it tells you.
So all the things we're talking, for me, all these things we're talking, we get willing the child. You do something to the child, you go sit them behind him, he start crying.
But what do you think is the best way around Linford?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I want to put this one. Oh yeah, what do you think African thing can do? Look, Africa, we do need to take part in the World Cup because in the first place, we're not going to do anything. They're not going to allow us. So should Africa now begin to boycott the World Cup?
Very good question. Very good question.
First of all, I said this on the bottom line with no fear. That Trump is a racist. He's the most racist person to have ever become president in America. And besides soccer, right, besides this World Cup, Africa has a key in the hand or a lock in the hand towards any power in the world when they come to the way that Africa is will be treated in any playing field, right? To say that you touch one, you touch all. And until we realize that you touch one, you touch all, like the fiasco that happened in Libya, and we see that in other parts of Africa, that you can't just come on our continent or outside the continent and you treat African any kind of way you feel like. So there will be a consequence. If possible, the whole damn embassies across any country that are stupid for that matter, like Joseph Borrell when he called Africa a forest. I expect African countries to, when Trump called Africa a shithole, all African countries, the AU, the chairman of the AU had been called a summit, and we call all African embassies from America immediately with apology. If you don't apologize, then hell, you'll take your damn embassies, you'll go back home, and we stay on our continent, and you're gonna see what happened to the global market. It's gonna crush. The moment Africa withdraw, but we are so coward, like coward dog that can be whipped anytime.
Yeah. First, okay, I'm making a comment. I think the thing is, the first and foremost, our presence should be felt, our stance should be recognized was when the Somali referee was barred from going to the US. That was a signal that Africans should have come together and make a strong statement. They couldn't have withdrawn from the World Cup, but they should come together. But there was no unified stance. It's something that's going on now in South Africa against other African migrants.
The referee association, they now supported their own.
Let's look at CAF alone. CAF alone should have come and say something. I don't know if CAF made any public statement against what happened to the Somali referee. There are other things. The African countries should have made a statement. That where we start from blame for, because we did not make any stand. They don't look at us as an underdog, as a pushover. They don't care. So whatever happened to the African, it was not in any major newspaper, and then major news channels, and then major news outlet or our network. So it was just all we played like because this guy is a well-respected FIFA bash referee, or he was barred, and it was because America had the right to buy anybody coming into the country. But politically, it was for what reason? Does he have a crime or what? Because he's Somali? So the thing is, African, we need to take a stand as a continent first, before we are recognized. This is the thing. I'll just mention of what's happening in South Africa. Look at the African brothers and sisters are really struggling right now in South Africa. Except Ghana, countries are treating a case on individual cases. It's not been treated as an African case. Now we have MTN running in Liberia. We are from Liberia. We got MTN running in Liberia, South African company. They have these DSTV running out of Liberia as a South African company. We can ask them to leave. Without asking South African to leave, they can ask them to leave. That will hit them economically. They will know that there's something that we don't like. That's a support, like under the late Torbert, when you talk about the people, the freedom of Palestine. He's not nowhere connected to a Baptist priest who was speaking for a country that is not Muslim. He spoke for them because of human rights. The things were not done properly. we are not standing together. That's what I would say on this point.
Yep.
Francis, what do you think? Linfo put a question across.
What?
About what can be done with the way they're treating us on the World Cup, on the world stage with African football.
Look, Africa cannot do much because we have mortgaged our being
that's a strong statement.
We have mortgaged our being as a country, as a continent, because look, we have the resources, we have the youthful population, we have the knowledge, the skills, but I mean, in the general, our leaders, they just bow down to the United States of America, the West, so to speak. I mean, and they're allowed to do a lot of things. Just quickly before I get back, I'll turn this thing over to you. So I was just thinking, guys, look, Africa has a lot of underutilized brains in the West. That is America, Australia, Europe. We have one of the most underutilized brains in the world. We all leave Africa, we come here, we get degrees, got PhD, we end up working McDonald's, we don't have nothing. They just don't use it. I mean, our leaders back home do not see it. There's over 5 million well-trained Africans in the diaspora doing nothing. We can use all the education we have. We don't use our brains.
Brother Francis, that number is just a drop in the ocean. No, we can do a show one day. We can do a show one day about on this topic because it's very huge. And I told you the other day, like the former Nigerian finance minister Ngozi, she talked about this untapped resource, right? And it is the African diaspora. And until you have a responsible government, a fast sightseeing government that will recognize, say, look, I have this resource and I have to tap into it. Besides the mineral resource back home, this intellectual, property that I have in the diaspora, how do I coordinate with them to be able to safeguard? Because those that are back home, you cannot compare just your little kid born here, the knowledge of a little kid compared to the same age back home. There's a huge difference that you cannot compare.
Yeah. It makes sense, guys. Okay, that's a good point. I think we've talked a little bit about this. If you just join, we want to take you back to what we want to discuss what really matters in Liberia nowadays. We just want to let you know we're speaking about football, how African teams or countries been treated on the world stage in this 2026 World Cup in the USA. My colleagues were just making a point, and we're thinking, what can we do? If you also have a comment, please share with us. What do you think? What's really happening to Africa? 10 teams coming to the World Cup. First time we got the major teams. Now we are leaving. Probably we may not even have anybody to represent at the end when it comes to the last minute of this game. So we ask you to join us. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We'll go into our topic. What we got tonight here for you. Just join us and share the show. This is the Bottom Line Liberia.
This is Bottom Line Liberia. This is Bottom Line Liberia.
Yes, indeed. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Gentlemen, welcome again. We're not going deep to our country, Liberia. Now, tonight, I want to share the topic with you if you just joined us. This is what we got tonight to discuss. Let me see what we got here, guys. This is the topic. Tonight, we're looking at the, I'll make it a little bit enlarged. Dual citizenship law. The former Justice Cabinet Janet pushes for Liberians in abroad to have rights to vote in the country. The second topic tonight is President Barker set of anti-illegal money tax force. The question is it a tax force? Is it covered up? We'll be looking at that. So we want you to also join us tonight. Also, we'll be looking at the Senate is being inviting the LDEAR, call them the chief and many other joint security forces. I have a discussion. They had a conversation, but they're asking for this man on the picture here on the poster. They call him Mr. Paul King. He's the head of the GLS. Says this is the company that handles logistics at an international airport, Rabat International Airport. He's still walking free. If this $90 million drug is going on, why is the man going on walking free? Nobody, no big head has been arrested. That's the question. So join us tonight, gentlemen. Let's start from the first topic. Let's go to the dual citizenship. I will start with Mark, because Mark will tell me what you think about. I'm going to go ask my question. Then I'll go to link. I want I want Francis to be the last person on this topic, because Francis is head of the Federation Liberian Association in Europe. So I keep messing this up. European Federation Liberian Association. He's the head, and he's been a brainchild. They've been talking about this voting right. This started some years back. We had a meeting. You were calling for Liberians. The government of Liberia to allow Liberians abroad to vote. That's been his campaign, and he's been starting this with both chairman of Liberians organization across. Now we'll go to him to tell her, he will get a final talk. How far are we going with this? But I'll talk to my colleague first. I'll talk to Mark. Mark, the voting, giving all the right as Liberian outside to have a voting right. What is the take on this? Is this something? Let me put it this way. How can I ask you this question? Okay, tell me, what do you think? Is this something Liberian government can handle? Let's look at it from the point of what do you think? Is this something the government is able to handle, say, logistically? Let me look at it from a logistical point. Let's forget the political point for it.
Oh. Yeah, I do believe the government can handle it if they engage, properly with the diaspora community. Mm-hmm. They could be able to handle the logistical aspect. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of, educated Liberian that can help the foreign missions in whatsoever geographical location, and put aside, party affiliation or whatsoever, and serve their fellow citizens when it comes to this voting stuff. And then two, they will also give a helping hand to people to avoid the cost of traveling, just to go and execute your constitutional right to when it comes to who become the leader of your country or the government in your country. So I believe that there are a lot of intellectual minds that can help fill in that gap when it comes to the logistical aspect.
Right. Some people are thinking we have last elections, we have 20 political parties vying for. It may not be 20 names on the ballot papers, but 20 political parties were named or registered to vote, and we need each of them to have to represent at these various points or polling stations. Who can handle that outside? You've seen that many African countries are not able to give the right to the citizen outside because of these huge financial burden or logistical burden. Is Liberia able to handle this? This is the question I'm asking, because where would these polling stations be, and who's going to be? Can they bring in, let's look at it in Sweden? There's no embassy in Sweden, right? We have to have a vote. Will you travel to Belgium, because you got an embassy in Belgium? If we have to have polling stations in Sweden or in Norway, because one of these countries, either Denmark, Norway, or Sweden, one of these countries, or Finland, who will be able to facilitate financially to get you there? And each political party must have a rep there as this polling station. That's how it's supposed to be. Well, this is my question. Can we handle that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's a way it can be done, in a sense that you have to limit, first of all, the size of the political parties. It is the right of every political party to contest presidential election, but this law is to be passed, for example, that tomorrow, we start to vote. Then there must be a benchmark that a political party must meet. If you want to contest the presidential election, you must have what you call up to between 50,000 to 250,000 registered members that identify through some sort of identification. Then you'll be able to go for presidential election. Then if you fall short of that, which is right for someone to run on a party ticket to go for a legislative position. Also can be limited to certain number. So you can put them into different categories, but it is all these political parties cannot run for the presidential election because most of them will fall short, for example, to reach that benchmark. So, and then too, when it comes to the part of the embassies you talk about, from here to Liberia, if you want to vote, it will cost you, thousands of dollars. First of all, the plane ticket going to be in 1,000, and then to your area where the place of your staying for the time being in the country in Liberia is going to cost you no less couple of thousand before you get back. So I think going to an embassy, no matter where you are in Europe, it's going to be cost you less, and it's going to take that burden of you traveling hours to get to Liberia, and then you're going to stay in Liberia for no less than a week or two, just for you to vote. So I think it's a smart thing to do, and we can do that if we collect the effort, put aside a party, and that also is a development for the country.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that comment. Linford, we've been discussing this over and over. Linford, I want to really look at it from the standpoint of who benefit from this extending full right to diaspora and who might oppose it. If this push is about inclusion or it's a political calculation ahead of future elections just to, because if you see a lot of Liberians out here and we want to vote, is this something like we just want to get our votes and we just close us up? We don't make decision anymore. Because we were talking about our representations into the Senate or into the House of Legislature, what we want to do, something like a week, because they say that the last time we fought for two FLA and other organizations fought for dual citizenship, that's given to us. Now we're fighting for voting right. Technically, what do you see? Is this something feasible for us?
Well, I think your question is double full.
Who benefit? Because you're a journalist, I need to hit you out so you can able to answer them.
Yeah, who benefits, and then whether it's feasible for us. I think everyone stands to benefit. Both the politicians, the political parties stand to benefit, and we, the diaspora Liberians, stand to benefit as well. I'll break it down. How do the politicians or the political parties benefit? They benefit because we are putting them to job. We are employing them. Okay, so and I heard you guys talk about the difficulties getting from polling station to another or going from embassy to another, and that will be done by the diaspora Liberians. We are not going to beg any politician to pay our way. The people on the ground, because even people on the ground, they got difficulties getting from place to place during elections. That's why they go and they get bussed to some polling station, and after that, some of them will even miss the bus or walk back home. But we are not going to do that. We pay our own way. If at all we have to go from one embassy to another. So that's how the politicians will benefit. And then how do we as the diasporans benefit? We benefit by exercising our franchise. Because, imagine that we leave the elections or the whole process with the locals, with the people on the ground, our people on the ground, and they go and make wrong decision, and then it affects all of us. How does it affect we? Somebody will say, but you people in the diaspora, how does that affect you? It affects us because when our families are suffering, they pay for money. When they are sick, they pay for money. Or they do, I would not use the word beg. They ask for okay. So it affects us negatively most time. Okay, some people they didn't even get the hand or the opportunity to travel right away. Somebody died from there and they cannot go. They will miss their love for funeral, and burial, all these things. So it's all because of the bad decisions that the people on the ground make. But if we are participating, probably we can change the dynamics. Okay, because I mean, the diaspora Nigerians, we are many. If every one of us want to vote, we can form almost 20% of the voters. Okay,
Right.
but one thing we stay struggling with is how to vote and how do we get from place to place. I think we are in the internet age, and I've seen Americans voting online. Americans can vote online. So if they utilize the internet to vote online, why can't we do it? Do we have to actually be physical at the embassy or polling station somewhere in Europe or in America? No. I see Americans here, they vote online. You see, so
Yeah.
if we,
Okay.
and
Go
the
on.
question asked was, how do we do that? If the government opens up, if the government just agrees to it, or if the whole system goes through, that diaspora can vote, Mark touched on it. There are a lot of brilliant librarians in RT who can make it possible. This will be easy. You can sit and write in your house. Once you are in your database and they know that you are registered, you can sit and write at the comfort of your table and just vote, and your vote is in.
Right. But then for one thing on the before I go to Francis, the good news is if you're just joining what we are discussing, the right of Liberian outside to take part in elections. So their voices can be heard through voting. They can make statements through voting. They want voting rights. With us tonight is Francis Monomesa. He's the president of European Federation Liberian Association. That's the mother organization of Europe. He's the chairperson. They've been fighting for this for years, and now he will be tell us what his organization is doing so far with this in regards to this voting right for Liberia living outside Liberia in Europe specific. But let me go back to talking about the technical skills. We're talking about the financial resources. Putting these things together, it costs money. Government may be crying they don't have the money. On top of that, other political parties may be complaining, look, this can be tampered with because whose hand is going to be in? The very election commissions that is one thing in Liberia, they don't trust it. They always have that the rejecting all the rigging elections. What much about when it's been done through the IT system? There's a possibility of being messed with or being tampered with. So that's the question most political parties will now want to go for anyway. Why is it that we didn't have that biometric cards for voting? That did not continue on the George Weah. Do you know the reasons why? Before I go to Francis, that was one of the reasons. That was a simple step to move forward. The right of asking for voting in Europe for at least to have a voice or statement in Liberia could be a difficult one if that biometric card election card did not go through. So what do you think this will go through for?
Okay, but like I said again, it depends if we are willing to do it. If the willingness is there. But I'm saying there's a RT expert right here on the show watching and even commenting. What I'm saying is that that biometric ID card thing, they are all simple things. Once you have a standard database that, for example, EFLA, Francis is president for EFLA. EFLA can say, okay, we are going to track all Liberians in Europe that are of voting age and create a database. So you know exactly, even if not 100%, but you know the number of people registered in that database. And then turn to cast elections. If you got roughly 2,000 people in Europe, you can have 5,000 voters automatically. No. And those people are registered. They are assigned some. No, let me tell you, we live in country like Norway. I mean, in the entire Scandinavia, your name is that important. You get this thing called a social security number. So everywhere you go, you say, Anchimara Camara, so what's a social security number? It's registered, everything. Even to the restaurant, you go there, they can check it and find it. So there is no way, once you are in that database, you can't carry 2-3 names. So the thing is, first, let's say, okay, it can work. We want to do it. If we agree, then now the question is, how do we do it? Because there are two things. They say, and I have to circumcise snake, but we will hold it here. So once we all agree that we'll circumcise the snake, we'll find somebody who want to hold it here.
Okay. Now, thank you. We still discussing topic. Francis, the last man to tell us what are we doing. You champion this with your team. You started this some years back. I remember 2 years ago in Belgium, together with your board chair. That's Mark. Mark Muller. Mark Muller. You spoke of this right. He was one of the one who practically spoke about it, and it has been on your table, a priority on your agenda. But you being the head of the European Federation Liberian Association, that's the mother organization in Europe, and you'll be fighting for us to get a right to vote. Tell us how far in this, how far are we? Is this something feasible? I still keep asking because a biometric did not go through, Liberian government did not put money into because it's quite expensive, could be. The technical part couldn't do it. Now, there's a brother who just put something. I want you to take on that. He just put something, if you can read it or just put it on the screen. It says what it says. It said this is why you need to. Thomas is saying he's following us now. He's one of Liberians.
Diaspora management system.
Yeah, we need to put a diaspora management system or DMS where we can have our data in there that you know where we are. That kind of process, but it costs money. It's a resource we're talking about, gentlemen. But landing for Francis, tell us how far are we with this pushing we Liberians in Europe specific to vote, to have voices heard, to vote in Liberia.
Well, Jamel, look, we have been embarking on this initiative for quite a while now. Our partners, EULA, we had a meeting a couple of years ago, 3 years ago or so, thereabout, and we presented the idea, and we form a unit, to propagate the whole idea of diaspora voting, because we play a pivotal role in our economy as it relates to the remittances that we send back home. So, but there were meetings held, and we contacted several members of the House of Representatives in Liberia, last year, December, and there are two arguments. The argument for is that we in the diaspora, we contribute immensely to the economy, to our budget, to our remittances, and we think that we need to have a voice, when it comes to the planning, or I call it, of the future of Liberia in terms of elections. And so then we went further. Some members of the House of Representatives are for it, and some are against, based on technical reasons. We do not have the infrastructure, and so and so on and so on. And then another thing has to do with Parliament again, in terms of our constituency. Liberia, Industrial Commission has to draw a new constituency for us. We have to be a constituency outside, so to enable us to vote. So there's a lot of technical details in there, Yeah, so it may not be now. We are still engaging. They're still, pushing up for likes of DeLon, the likes of Representative, his name, what's the guy name from Sando County? And so so they're pushing it. But the other day I heard the former Vice President Joanna Taylor, she's totally against it. She one of her points were we do not have the infrastructure. It may take weeks for results from the diaspora to go to Liberia. I was listening, hey, we're in a digital age now. We are not so many. Probably in the States, because they are afraid of the diaspora in the States. The Liberian diaspora in the States, Africa, in Europe, they're not too concerned. But the Liberian diaspora in the States, is huge. And those people vote, they might influence election results in Liberia. So it's kind of tricky, but we're still working on it. It may not be these elections coming up 2029, but in future elections we will have Liberians in the diaspora voting.
Thank you very much. Listen, Mark, just a second. I want you to add. I want you to add this, Mark. I want to add this so you can add to what Paul said. Francis just said. I don't want to miss this point. There's something you just mentioned about constituency of for Liberia register.
You have a constituency.
Constituency, yeah.
Constituency.
In the Constitution, it say Article 18, number C of the Liberian Constitution, 1986 Constitution says that every Liberian citizen has the right to be registered in a constituency and to vote in public elections only in a constituency where registered. So either by person or by absentee ballot. So definitely that makes sense. So if the fear is, if you are given the right to vote, if we are given the right to vote, they will maybe asking for representation in Liberia, in the Senate or in the House of Representatives. Is that a sense? Mark, you can add up to what I'm saying.
But there's something working on as well, because other countries have diaspora represent, in the House. Ghana has it. I think Ghana just imposed. Ghana has it. Other countries, are picking up on that. So that way, it has to be. If in any case, if it does materialize, it has to be Europe and America sharing that one slot each.
But that won't be fair, is it? Europe is a continent, America is a continent. Why would you want to share that? Anyway, let Mark say something on that.
It's a continent. We have one share each, Robert. I mean, Europe has one representative, America has one.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
okay. Mark, you want to come on?
That's the plan.
Yeah. For me, I will, maybe my understanding of it is different, but I would totally be against that in the sense that you must be on the ground to be able to be active in the Liberian polity if you want to be able to represent, not just based on the diaspora interest, but where the action is on the playing field. So in order for you to make that impact, but what I'm in favor of is the diaspora voting. And there's an easy way for you to do that. First of all, what we call the every voter must have be given a registered voting card or voting number. And once you pass the age of 18, for example, if every Liberian could register at the embassy, you understand, or we have some form of social security number, that if a Liberian leave from Liberia, you have a social security number. That social security number, no matter what part of the world you go, you take it with you. If your child is born, the dual citizenship, which is the hallmark of President George Weah, it was never taken from us in the first place. But the idea that President Weah, how they call it, help to enforce it and activate it, legally. So it is his hallmark, and I give it to President Weah. So we can make it. I read from a lot of Liberians that say, "Oh, it's not possible," or "We can't make it." No, it's just the idea of brain lazy. We have to start it from one step to the next step, to the next step, to the next step until we make it better. But it is possible. It is not impossible. And then I engage. One of the reasons that it never happened last year is because of the fear of Alexander Cummings. Because during the past election, Alexander Cummings was dominating among the diaspora Liberian, most especially in the America Belt. So the party back on the CDC was not in favor, but had it been the other way around, they would have accepted it in the legislature. They are not looking at it from from a good point that benefit the country, but they are looking at it from a selfish interest, but not for the development of the country as a whole.
Okay, Luffy, want to come on this, or want to move forward?
Well, the only thing I want to add to what Matt said is yes, we can make it. Nothing is impossible, but you have to start. Every 1,000 miles start with a step, and if you fail, well, you fail, but you try. But what we're doing is what people say. People say fear is the enemy of progress. You see, because we are not even started, and we are afraid that
we are afraid, exactly.
Yeah, so we need to start and fail. When we fail, then we can pick up from there and see our mistakes and continue. Ghana is doing it. Why we can't do it? Other countries are
Why
doing
can't
it.
we do it?
It means they're going to give us the right to form our own constituency. That's the thing, because
it is in the constitution.
that's the constitutional hallmark we have right now. I mean, hurdle we are going through. He said the law says that if you have to be a part of constituency before you vote, a registered constituency. So
Yes.
will the House give us the right to establish one?
Yeah, the constituency thing, they get new sending a normal Liberia to be living somewhere. That's why you see most of the lawmakers in Liberia now, they're creating new districts. Because once you have that, you meet that threshold. Certain number of, I don't know exactly the number, what the constitution says. The number
is 20 to 25,000,
Okay.
every 20 to 25,000.
Yeah, so right here in Europe, we got more than that. So we form a constituency. And then in order for the constituency to be recognized and be voting, they must have representative. So then that's when we'll send our representative. But Mark is again the idea that the representative should be on the ground. But if so, if Mark,
go ahead, lay your thought first.
Yeah, if Mark will go as representative for Liberia, that means Mark will have to be for the 6 years that he will be representative. He has to stay in Liberia. So that don't worry about that. Yeah, don't worry about that. Of course, you can't be living Sweden and represent all in Liberia. You got to be on the ground there. So all I want them will fix it. But my point here is let's start first and fail. Then we say, yeah, Ali, we fail. But we start, then we start being friends.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think one thing is that, you know, this expansion of the legislature, for example, if we go back to before the crisis, I think there were 63 where we had GM senator and CN senator, and then Moserado County had, I think, like 3 senators. But now with the expansion of these, it is written in the Constitution, right, to have every 25,000 to, I think, XY number should have a representation to the legislature. But looking at where you don't have a favorable balance of account, and you are creating all these new legislators to the legislature that are going to be a burden on the economy. The people themselves supposed to think very wisely that what does it bring to my constituency, to the new constituency? This person with the team around him going to be walking away with almost $500,000. But that $500,000, if 50% is put into that same constituency, for example, building schools, building clinics, for example, to start with, how they call this, other basic needs for the people. I think that would be a better thing instead of just creating the constituency and electing some talkative to the legislature that are going to bring any benefit, go to advocate for $200,000 or $100,000 to carry on community project. So there where I have a problem. But if the economy is good, these constituency can have representation to the legislature. So what I would be in favor, for example, if they could put together some constitutional scholars that will look at the pros and cons of as to what benefit does it bring to the country, and then the negative impact it's going to have, and do we put that money into the community? And these constituencies have what we call city mayor instead of having, because the city mayor salary is way down the line. There to run the constituency, they're having someone who a legislator that go to carry almost $250,000. Yeah, so that's my view on it.
Yeah, that's good. But good thing I want to just move on here before we move on to the next topic, the third topic tonight. The second topic tonight, guys, is the Senate has, the good news is the Senate has formed a diaspora caucus. I think Francis can speak on this. Who represent the Senator Francis Dopo, who just came off a draft to start something called Diaspora Engagement Act, which is advocating for diaspora voting right and establish diaspora commission. So That's a good way out. So there's somebody representing us in a house there right now. San Francis Dopo is doing that. That's, I think we must have a good feeling that something going to happen for us. But let's go to the point, Mark, you're talking about. Prince Yekison was here once again telling us we need to put our dollar together and send every dollar we send to Liberia, everything we send together, a dollar be taken out of that cent and support a kind of a special diaspora initiative. This could also support us, our presence, also our development, make an impact in Liberia. I think you heard of that. Probably you were not here, but that, he came here to speak on the issue of, and it's an act, it's a bill. Dila is pushing that diaspora some kind of funds from where every Liberia, who's ever sent money to Liberia, some money will be taken out, be put in a diaspora fund, a fund especially to involve in some project in Liberia that will all Liberian benefit. That's an impact. So that also help us to push for our own constituency and also our own representation in Liberia. So that's a good point. If nobody want to make come on, that we can move to the second topic, guys.
Yeah. Dylan proposal, if that's going to work, for example, for we in Europe here, and I will expect better friends, or I suggest better friends to be putting together a team, because America, even though they have the number, but we in Europe, we are a continent. We are a continent that have thousands of Liberians, like Brother Linford said, should be putting together a team that will be over there. All Liberians community should be working with Brother Francis to see how best we can put together some of the brightest of minds to put for our proposal. So what Dylan is talking about, not for the money to just be in there to them back home in Liberia, and we don't have a representation as to what the money is going to be used for. It's not just for the idea of, okay, passing money down to people, and it's not being accounted for. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. This is what.
I just want to add something a little bit, especially when it comes to the $1 subtraction from remittances that are proposed or that is on the table. You see, listen, you got a government. I don't know. That's why when Prince Yekison, or what his name is, when he was here, I was not here. I should have asked him this question. It's not hard to give the money, but who's going to manage it? You got a whole country where money gets missing in government and nobody can account for it. See, so if somebody is taking our money, we should be, the first thing is we should be on the table, because if you are not on the table, we'll be the many. If you are not sitting on the table, then you are the many. So we are on the many. So then, if we are on the table, then we can now see that responsibility on our side as diaspora Liberians and say, okay, every decision that is being taken in the government or by the government, we are represented. We are part of it. So now we can say, let's pay our money. That $1 talking about, some people will pay $5. Okay. And then if the diaspora Liberians are represented and we got our representatives or senators in the house, we can also be able to, attract investors from both Europe and America, because our representative can have the opportunity to come and present themselves here, because people know that they've been living in Europe, they've been living in America, Australia, and so they can say, oh, listen, we got our people, and we are representing them. And our people need social project or whatever. Not only investors, but they can also attract some people who want to help the country. But in the absence of that, one individual, Francis Mensah, cannot get and go stand in front of the parliament, the EU parliament, or something and say, "Oh, give me money." They will start questioning him. But if they see
and look, for example, as big as Scandinavia is, we don't have an embassy representing us in Scandinavia. We have to travel all the way, and there are huge untapped resource in the Scandinavia that the ambassador could engage, and other Liberians could contribute to finding investors to go back home. Look, for example, the garbage that are causing problem in Liberia. The Scandinavia, they are very good in recycling the Scandinavian countries. Okay, but we don't have a representation here. And
we are very good in our houses. We sort our garbage, and the people clear the good. So
exactly.
Even until now, I don't know what they do with the garbage. Up to now,
the idea that we in Scandinavia have to leave from here to go to Belgium or to go to Holland in order for to get one or two documents, it's mind-boggling. And like my brother said, we have to start from somewhere. And we need an embassy in Scandinavia to
let me get close on this thing. And what Matt said about the potential in the Scandinavia is great. Can you imagine there is one old man who President Todman, as he told us, Todman, the guy was C-man, and President Todman appointed that man as Liberian consulate. That man was here, 12 time, he was not functional too much. Nobody knew him. Till time, nobody knew him until 2004 when we established a Liberian organization. Before that man can introduce himself, we used that man and we were meeting our organization. We were meeting Norwegian Parliament just before the COVID. We also, that man was instrumental in Ellen Johnson coming here to receive a Nobel Peace Prize. That old man can just press button. Things can happen in the country. I'm telling you, living true. That old man, I was in England. At India, then they were talking about broadcasting the program. The old man said, "Wait." He said, "Just sit down."
And do you know that Sweden for
want to connect and
do you know, for example, that the Swedish government, right? They had 300 million Swedish kronor in that country that was supposed to be given to Liberia, but the Liberian government, they never knew how to go about it to make a request as to where they want that money to be spent, to advocate for that money. The same with the Norwegian government. They got millions of Norwegian kroner that is given to their representation in that tiny little country, but you have to make that request. You have to put in the paperwork. If you don't put in the paperwork, the ambassador is sending money right back. So, and there are people knowledgeable in Sweden about these things, but the idea you are not engaged in the diaspora.
One last important point.
It's a quite important thing, guys.
When it comes to the Scandinavia, Jima, we are making proposals. We are discussing. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I hope the president, Mr. Mensah, I hope you take. There's a proposal the colleagues are making here. I hope you listen very well.
When it comes to Sweden and Norway. In the Scandinavia, when it comes to Sweden and Norway.
He's taking note. He's taking note. All right. Go on.
Yeah. When it comes to the Scandinavia, Norway and Sweden, they got strong ties to Liberia. Why? Because of NACO. Do you know that we have Liberian organization here, and we got a Swedish group? I mean, the Norwegian children that were some of them were born in Liberia, some of them grew up there. We always attend our program, okay? And these people, then one of them works at a bank. She's someone that she for one bank, and she told me something. She said the money you see Norway giving enough for them, enough for the government. That people you go in the country, Jima, you can't. Your well without no account no more. Your children can't know it until you agree to let them know it. So a lot of people die. That money they know nobody. The bank know who to give it to, because the men made nobody will. The woman made nobody will. So that money the government can pack it. That one they can be given up. So she said, "Hey, money people they looking for place to give it but if you don't know what to do, you can't get it. You see it? So like what Mark is saying, if the Scandinavia, these children they grew up in Liberia, they my friend are talking about this lady. She was 7 years, 5 years she went to Liberia. She remained there until 16 years old. 11 years. So all her childhood friend in Liberia. You see it?
Can I hold you there for a second? You holding one of the organization leaders in Norway, and tell me how much the Norwegian government has been helping Liberian organizations there. Because if all these opportunities are there, you guys should be utilizing that. Tell me how far you guys gone with that.
Yeah. Okay. I remember, was it 2013 or 14? We visited the Norwegian Parliament, and we were just in our process, and then something happened. Individually, or let's say on the organization level, the Norwegian government can help. Okay. Like for instance, there's a fund. Okay, there's a fund that the organization can.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but the question I asked you, you've been there for over 10 years. How much help does the the Norwegian government has given to a Liberian organization. Before you go to Liberia, let's start from where we are. How much we helped by the Norwegian government through your collective efforts and organization? Yeah, Mutem, Linfo.
Are you talking about helping the Liberian people?
Because you said that I just want to take so people learn. I'm sorry, are you making good suggestions here? What we want to know, because here in the UK, in Europe, and other part of the world, before you go out there, you make some impact in your existence where you stay. So from there, if you go to the parliament and ask for help, then you talk about the bigger picture. Now, as the Liberian organization, you serve one of the key officials in the Norwegian Liberian community for a very long time. And you should be able to tell us, you guys took advantage of that opportunities around. You guys got helped. Can you tell us in this place, those who are around you also learn from you? How can you get help? How other can get the same help from other African, Liberian community around Europe?
Yeah, like I'm telling you, we met in the Norwegian Parliament, and at the time we had scholarship program in Liberia and all these things. So we were in a process of that. I think it was around 2011. Just in that time, we had this unfortunate situation in Norway where this guy decided to kill people. So we actually, that whole project went down. And then there was a Ghana guy in one of the universities here, Wayne Enough, who usually, transact these things. Thank him, he too died just a few months after he died, natural death. So at the time, we even went to Liberia. We already had scholarship students in Liberia at the University of Liberia that we supported for 3 years. When all these things happened, the next thing we were working on was a student exchange for students to come, and then this thing happened. So, and besides that, our organization can get funding once we apply for that funding.
Have you applied for it before? You were 10 years. Have you applied for it? Have you got any funding?
Yeah,
for
that's what I'm saying. I said we can apply for it every year.
You've been existing for 20 years. Have you applied?
I'm telling you, every year.
I'm sorry, I'm not putting in the hot seat here. I'm just a point that we want to learn from you. Because if you said it's funding here, it's not for the local organizations, only for the government, then we'll understand. The question I'm asking is, it may not be for the fund that they may not be for the local communities, Liberian community in Norway. It could be also only directed for Liberia, the government of Liberia. So you've been there for 20 years in Norway. Have you applied for the funding from the government? Have you received the funding as an organization?
Yeah, we as local organization, I'm telling you that there's a fund in the
Norwegian system. Have you received funding, Linfo?
Oh, I just said almost every year. You're not hearing me?
Sorry.
The July 26th is coming now. So the leadership or the organization will have to apply, and they will give all that money.
Oh, okay. So you got money from the people for July 20 celebration. That's what you're saying.
And represent.
Because we celebrate July 26. Now, EFLA is having a big one in Europe and somewhere in Europe. So we also learn from you. So all this time EFLA is charging, nobody's been giving EFLA money. We will pay according to our own personnel to support EFLA to organize this program. If no one is doing it, we can also learn from you. That's the question we're asking here. The chairman is here.
That's what I'm telling you. But you see, the problem is all European countries that is seeing. But in Norway, that front is there. Or even football.
All right.
Yeah. Even football.
Can we go to the next topic, bro?
It's all right. No, it's okay. Yeah, no, sorry, but because this is important. I want to move on the thing. We want to, Mr. Chairman, we want to know how you got funding. You say it's important. You don't want to get money in this country.
The man said, "Oh, you've been calling it different already."
So you're struggling about.
The man came already. So Norway, it depends on Belgium. So we headquarters.
No, but anyway, they already get. If they get money to celebrate July 26th, they can get money to carry on project in Liberia as well. Too. Thank you. The next topic, guys. This is. I want to put the next topic here. Let me see what we got here. Now, Blacker anti-illegal mining task force. Is it covered up, or is it something that is that task force covered up? Gentlemen, look, listen. Liberia been losing a lot of money for the illegal mining, mining diamonds, mining gold. We also know even the proper legal mining, we are also losing money. But now the government just last a week or two came over a task force and came over a team to support this task force. So they'll go around looking for those who elicit money. That's me, illegally money around the country. The question is this something the government is just planning to, how do you say that, may I cover it up? Is this something going to work? The question goes to, first I'll talk to Mark. Mark, what do you think? This is overdue, is it?
Yeah, it is laughable to me, and I don't think the government's serious when it comes to illegal mining, because this has been one problem from one government to another, and the Liberia is a open door terrain that anybody can come in, and the Liberian themselves, the citizen of Liberia, they can go into any county, and that county doesn't protect their mineral resource as to who come in the county, even though you are a Liberian. So, for example, I will give like Sano County, a group of people come from a different part of the country and just come into Sano County and start digging everywhere in Sano County. I think the citizens of Sano County, the children of Sano County, the residents of Sano County have that right to protect their territory and to protect their environment. It's not to be, we blame the government sometimes for many things that these constituency or these counties themselves, the residents themselves, have to take responsibility and not wait for the government to act before they can act. So, for example, you have a group of criminals coming from somewhere and entering your house, or you have a criminal coming from somewhere and entering your house. What do? Do you wait for the government to come to arrest the criminal before you protect your wife and children in the house? No, you have to take the first action while your wife and children on the phone with the authority to see how best you can prevent that criminal from harming your family. So you have people in Sano County and the Sapo National Park, which is our treasure, and you have a group of people going in the Sapo National Park, doing illegal mining in the Sapo National Park, doing deforestation in the Sapo National Park, and the people in Sano County, they are sitting and blaming the government. Oh, the government, illegal mining. No, I expect the people of Sano County, the lawmakers of Sano County, to encourage the citizens of Sano County, come up with an idea, if they are lacking an idea, as to how to stop illegal mining in this county. Because if we don't stop it, we are going to be the victim. These people that are here, they are just predators that come here to do on our mineral resources. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, talking about that, we have those are legitimate companies that are doing money in Liberia. Let's take Beer Mountain, or what is Beer Mountain, for example. Look at what is his name, San Davis, for example. Not money, other of these are concessions like Palm or company. But let's look at Beer Mountain, other companies. The citizens themselves are not even benefiting. Forget about illicit money already. What will you tell the government? Let's first look at the house. Their house is not in order. The first and foremost, look at the whole Grand Cape, man. Have you gone to see the hospital? See the schools, the road network is very bad. And the billions of dollars come out every month in that area. They talk about
every year, billions of dollars come from that place, right? And this is where I have problem with the concession and the lawmakers that go through, because the concession, when they sent to the legislature to go over, the representative from that county, both the senator and the lawmakers, they go through these concession as well. They have a say, but then how they become blind and don't see these things that need to be corrected, as to say, hey, Liberia government is making 3 cents on the dollar. How much of this 3 cents do we have as a county? Do we get as a county? So instead of 3 cents, we cannot accept this kind of concession. So it has to be Liberia government takes 60%, and then in the 60%, the county we want 20% of That's 60%, because the 40% will be distributed across the country, right? But we as a county, we must have 20% of whatsoever that is coming from there. These are the places I expected the lawmakers to make changes with the concession and send it back to the president that this thing, it have to be corrected, or else the people in the county, and you go back to talk to your people in the county, hey, we have this mineral that want to be tapped by foreign investors. And according to the concession XYZ, this is how it's going to be. And you explain to your people and let your people have a say in it. But you can't just sit there, the central government, then you tell you that the company going to build hospital, they're going to build schools. That is not the responsibility of these companies.
Okay.
If you listen to Seymour, if you listen to this guy coming, that's Seymour Fremont, the lawmaker Duncan from Sano County.
Okay, yeah.
I said before on the show, he's somebody very, very intelligent to listen to. Okay. He talk about these things, but he come from a small political party. Instead of joining this bigger political party, he got this turning political party, and he's not heard across the country. But had he been part of I wish he was part of one of these so-called big political parties that, in fact, don't know what the hell they are doing when it comes to these.
Remember, but Senator Duncan, he ran on CDC.
I just got to know of. Yeah, thank you, Francis. I just got to know of lately.
Yeah, but he organized his own political party, some movement. Another political party is an ideological movement. He's trying to, but he says no good things too, I mean.
Yeah, that just of recent, when it comes to the whole Liberian politics, I'll be honored with you guys. That country had discouraged me. That I got it's like seawater. It's like seawater, right? Let someone test it, or when you go for what we call 0 week in the army, and they cook the rice with salt water and give it to you, and you put it in your mouth. You want to throw out. You understand? So that's how Liberia politics have been to me. It's like seawater.
Right. Anyway, I think we will soon end up, because that's fine. Because I think what you're saying right now is very good idea. But the thing, Linkfrog, you think the task force, will they do the good job?
In the first place, that's just a small screen. You see, no, listen. Let me tell you, when it comes to what they call illegal money, the alluvial money, that's the proper name, is something that has been happening from the time of our baby. There's a company now in Liberia they call MNG Go. They are in my home area, in the Kogoya area. That place, they been money there. Even myself out there during the war, 1994, 95, I was there. I used to go there to pay some balls, and they did for me. So the alluvial money have been going on through all the country. It's going on presently everywhere. And that money is not even anything that can affect what we have, because most of the people, they don't even have the equipment. They are just digging, to go dig, like go and bury somebody. How much can human being dig? So they just doing it for living. Okay. I used to go there, I stand there, I see the ball digging, my man. Those are not people you're going to go arrest. It's just like, the policeman arresting the Yana ball, the name the father arresting, he is a care $2. But the real people who are, what can I say, extracting our minerals and carrying it, that the false companies that come, few guys get good and put money together and come and pretend that they are company. Let me tell you, I'll give you an example. Our lawmakers are a very big problem for ourselves. Some of these companies come with contract, they do examine it well. Look, I'm in the maritime world, right? You got this company called what is the group, man? The group at the port.
It's a AP terminal. APM terminal.
AP Mula Maersk. And when you see continue with Maersk, that part of that.
Maersk, yeah.
AP Mula Maersk. You know that people have been doing that business for over 100 years, almost going to 150 years. They know the
from one country to another,
Yeah, they are from right here, Denmark. 2015, they used to have the largest container ship. They replace it. And the one they replace, the new one, I don't know what they need. In fact, Evergreen is competing with them. So the boys, they know that thing in and out. They got ports everywhere around the world. How 100 years, why didn't they go to Liberia normal days to the free port to go say they want a port? No. But because they saw Liberia was vulnerable right after the war.
Vulnerable. I just wanted you took the word from my mouth. They only go to vulnerable countries.
So you know what? You know what they did?
Them.
You know what they did? During Ellen Johnson time, they went there. They say we can get $25 million. Oh man, our Lord, because Edwin Snow, my own brother and friend, Edwin Snow, he was carrying people around asking men to sign. They're not reading it. They are looking at the title, and then the next thing that the signature page they're looking for. We got the court. Then the moment you sign, you get your court. Okay, when the whole project bounced back, and I was telling you about 25 million. That nobody can make it. If they load the container, that is used to be called Emon Maersk, the largest container ship. When they load it from China before they reach Europe, they made 25 million. Before they reach America, that almost 75 million. On the return there, they make another million. So that 25 million, you always sign 25-year contract for every year, 1 million. What sense does that make? Okay, the same thing. These Bawati companies will come and people will call them investors. ArcelorMittal is not investment company that extractors. They are taking our mineral. If I'm an investor, I will take my money and carry it to the country and invest it, and people work for me, I get profit. But I can't be taking your resources, then you call me investors. So we are our own problem. Instead of the government revisiting those concessions and making correction, they sending your task force to go collect their own citizens that or to go harass their own citizens that do not have money, that are hustling to make ends meet. If you drive all of them from the alluvial money, then it will be so they be making problem in the country. You grab me, put it in
robbers.
Yeah, you even get food to feed them. So that's not a problem. I don't think. Okay, if the government is zero, what about the alleged mining activity that took place at the Guinea-Liberia border that brought the Guineans on our soil? Why they can't go investigate that one? You see, all the things just smooth screen. They just want to do something to drive people attention. We have seen these things. They set up asset recovery thing. We can't see anything. They are not showing any tangible asset that we want. In abundance or go to court today and know what status. See, so all these things again, when you got nothing to do, you look for something to do. That's why the Bible say the less basic minds there was worship. So because once you are less basic, get put 2 or 3 children together.
I think they are trying to feel the political. They are getting to feel the political impact.
Yes.
As to their failure, because the Liberian people know that this government has failed, and like the same way the CDC-led government was treated, that is how this unity party government going to be treated. No matter what they do with the next 3 years to come before election, Liberian people are going to vote them out. So the political impact has been felt, but it's not yet on the scale like CDC. I think there were demonstration few days ago, and there's going to be a huge demonstration, more demonstration coming out like the one we have seen for the past couple of days, because they have misjudged the whole mindset of the Liberian people that they can just do anything, and the Liberian people gonna talk, and they go away. Gonna talk, and they go away. But Liberian people are starting to wake up from small, how they call it, watching other programs like you and I, and then.
Just a technical error. Sorry, boss. Go on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like you and I, the contribution we make with other bigger platforms, so Liberian people are getting to wake up, or they are already waking up to the reality that this law to be voted out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. To Francis, to make a comment on these attack force. My colleague says are covered up, and the government is feeling the political heat now. That's why they're coming out to put these.
Did you watch or any?
It's not right. It just keep popping up. Francis, please tell us where you stand on this tax force issue, legal mining tax force.
Did you watch or any? Make me want see me. Photo, girl and Charlie will give me.
First,
Somebody's not. Something's not right.
Move your finger from near the moment.
No, it's something just popping up. I think the system is cracking. I'm not even touching anything. So, sorry about that, gentlemen. If you're watching or watching the video, I think we have some technical problem. He glitches here. But anyway, Francis, tax force, legal tax for money set up by the president. What do you think?
Well, I have a different perspective on that. I think it's a good initiative. To have these veteran law enforcement officers getting involved in the tax to go there. But the thing is that there's one thing to set up a tax force on paper. It's another thing to finance and support that tax force.
Tax force will be active because it involves money. They will be active. Watch them. Every day they go to some gold mine, they harass the person and get some time on gold.
Let you say something, Flameful. Go on.
I mean, that's a negative aspect of the thing. You say, you were talking about, how are you talking about giving the elections, that's why elections giving it a chance. Why can't we give this a chance too?
So you believe in it? It's going to work?
We cannot be so negative about everything because of politics. It's a good thing.
All the task force that have been set up by this government, what have they accomplished so far?
I mean, they seem to give this task force a chance too. This is what it can do. We cannot judge them. We can be preemptive. Where people have not even started a job.
Yeah, but we judge from past experience.
Gentlemen, give the chance, let you land, please. Go on.
Yeah, so what the past experience is, I think there's a good initiative. We give the guys a chance to see how they can work. Because this on paper, in theory, it may sound, it may look very easy, but Liberia border is porous. I mean, they got artisan money all around the country, in Monrovia. So it's a huge tax in the leeward counties. Where is the government officials, representatives are all involved in money. So I want to see. I mean, I look for. I want to see how they will go about it. I mean, Ebikoma is a robust guy. His name, the Cassidy guy, Cody. He's a veteran. We call SS guys for number D's and the actual P. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's interwoven with agencies because I think the lands and mines got some tax for some people responsible for that as well. So I mean, that's much I can say. It's good for the economy. I hope they can be able to weed out all these small Chinese things that come because the security themselves is a problem. Because all the people that come into the country had the bulldozer and yellow machine that called Liberia, yellow machine and power then go to the mining company. I mean, so that's a serious thing. Go to the mines. Let's give it a chance. Let's see how they can work it out.
Let's say if the three of us were from Sano County here, right, and we are to the legislature, I think we have the responsibility to tell our people and to enforce a anti-money, to do in our county. You don't just come in our county and you start to mine in our county. And then two, if the government is bringing, like I said before, signing a contract with whatsoever government are you signing, I think you have to meet with the county legislative caucus, and we have a say in that particular contract or a concession or contract. You're not just going to, because you're central government, you sign some bogus contract with some company and you think we're going to open up the county to you. No. and our people in the county, the four of us will get together.
Mark, we got a different form of government. We got a Republican form of government. So we are more liberal. We do not have that. We don't have that system where the counties, that was the local government, the new local government, what you call it, act creating local government, ministry, intend to do. But hopefully, we'll see what it's like the federal.
The whole system have to be decentralized because we are operating on this. I think in the unitary form of government where everything is centralized. But having said that, we, the county state, yet can have a huge say as to what part of the pie the people of that county going to eat. If the four of us, if nobody going to take brown envelope from the executive branch, the four of us, we can still have an impact on that.
I said, during Nima County, Medium, Bon County, Medium, Baza, all kind of looking the same way, bro. So I'm like, what? All the million again, they can't show the county development fund. People and say, Liberia as a country need to change the whole system.
The country is on pilot. The country is on how to call this what we call what's the term again? Autopilot, I call it. So we can move on to the next topic. You muted, Jamal.
I know.
The whole country is on autopilot.
I'll take a quick break, but I'll bring you together. With short reminder here, we'll be having this July a bigger event taking place in Belgium. We'll bring you the advert soon. EFLA, the European Federation of Liberian Associations, having an event in Belgium. So we'll be bringing you what is happening, why you should be there. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll bring you those slides. But in the meantime, let's see who comes on tomorrow. If Francis coming on tomorrow, let's see what happens. But we'll stay at the show where he does on Saturdays.
Welcome to Your Story, where real lives meet real truth. I'm your host, Francis Mona-Menza, and every week I sit down with remarkable guests to uncover their journeys that shape their lives, the struggle they survive, the breakthroughs they earn.
Liberians, indeed it is your day. Join us in Antwerp for Liberia's Independence Day celebration.
Liberians conversation. This is your story, a life experience that goes deep, gets real, and leaves you with something to think about long after the streams. Join us every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central European Time, live on the Borderland Liberia. Don't just watch, be a part of the conversation, because every story matters, especially yours.
Belgium to celebrate what we know as Liberia's 179th Independence Day celebration. Let's unite in pride, culture, and joy as we honor our heritage with music, dance, and unforgettable moments. This is more than just an event. It is a celebration of who we are, Liberianism at its best. Come together, let's do it.
Experience the vibrant spirit of Liberia. Enjoy live performances and entertainment. Reconnect with fellow Liberians and friends. Celebrate in style at the Independence Ball. No matter where you are, Antwerp is the place to be this July. Come celebrate, come connect, come represent Mama Liberia.
Dress code for the AGM is African attire.
Thank you, guys. That's a big one coming up very soon. Dress code is African attire. Let's see what guy about that. Or you going to wear? What are you going to be wearing? Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, John, thanks for joining. We have one more topic to discuss right now. Don't forget, on this July, we'll be having the biggest event in Antwerp, Belgium. That's the place to be. All road leads to Belgium. So try to be there wherever you are. If you join us, it's always last year was a very good one. I think we have almost 400 to 500 people in our hall. That was very good. Yeah, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
So, are you ready? Are you getting up to the event that taking place this July? So, tell me, give a little bit of update here before I move to the last topic. What we got in package?
Look, we have. I'm not going to unpack everything we need for the package here, but look.
Where's the special guest speaker for this occasion?
Oh man, I mean, you see, we're trying to take a step back from the guest speaker thing. We want to have a more
celebratory event.
Yeah, kind of set up, stuff, occasion. But the list of dignitaries are so high, they may have, they will attend the program. But we have guests as usual from America. They call it Australia. They come in from Liberia. So
okay.
we're gonna be having a great time. But this year event gonna be better. It'll be gonna be better than last year's edition.
Oh yeah, okay. That sounds good. That was really good. Anyway, if you just join us, this is about Liberia. We will ask Linford to tell us who is following us now. Who can you see? Can you tell who is really looking at us and who is joining us, and tell them just another special treat from the Barrel Linford.
Okay, we've had a couple of people here tonight. It's a lot of people watching, but they're not commenting.
Yeah,
so it's
218 people following right now, right? That's what we get. But I'm not.
Our colleague Paul the Lottery Play is watching, as well as Mami Zifri, and also Bataki. They're all watching, and so it's a lot of people watching, but they're not making comments. So they cannot show on my dashboard. But we just want to say we appreciate you for being here, and because of you, we are here. So we hope that you will always continue to join us and make the show the best it can be.
Thank you. Right. Thank you for joining us. So let you also know that we got a couple of platforms. That's why the number goes over. We got 3 different borderline platforms. So what happened is all connected to this one. So you see a lot of numbers on this one. You don't see them on our front page, on our platform here, on our comment section. But we want to say wherever you join us. So thank you for joining us. Please subscribe and share the show. Anytime you come on, you'll be alerted and we'll share. You'll be part of the conversation. We also want you to share and tell what you think, what we're talking about. Let's see what topic you think we can discuss. So just to us topic that you think is trending, we want to discuss. We got people here, they will say their mind, and that's one thing I like my guys here. They say what they think. Nobody call and they say what they think. That's it. I like they tell you what you think. You say, I don't care what you think about me, I'll tell you what I think. So this is how we work here. But anyway, we will go to our last topic for tonight. The last topic for tonight, guys. That is it drug $19 million, $19.2 million drug issue is still going on. Now the question is, Paul King is the elephant in the room. Why is not being arrested? Why should he be arrested? It's not on him. The other security officers in the port, these the guys are head of logistics at the port. They call GLS Logistics, that handles logistics at that like Rabo International Airport. That's in Liberia. And people are saying the Senate called the head of the drug enforcement officer to a meeting and said the question was, they made the guy uncomfortable, saying that why is it that Paul King, who is aware of the drug issue, he had the drugs, he transported, why he's not arrested, he's still walking free? The question is, gentlemen, why should Paul be arrested and why he's not arrested? Anybody can take this question. I want to go to the security guy because got 2 former security guys among our mates here, and they will know themselves. I don't want to call their names. Anyone can pick on this. Why this is not happening? When they leave for myself, I know you can pick on, anybody can pick it on here. I know I got expert. They've been working security over a decade, and they are here with us tonight. They are part of the panel. I don't want to call their names, but you can pick on.
Look, but anyway, let me just say, look.
Okay, you came up. He's one of them.
Paul, I mean, for full disclosure, Paul and Peter King and your entire family My little brothers from Gardensville, to Michael School. When I went to Memorial College, I know them very well. I know the big brothers. I know the entire family well. And in fact, Paul and I, Peter actually, and Paul, Peter and I were together last year. Sometime this year, yeah, in the
US.
last year, yeah. He came to Sweden anyway. He came for the festival. We met up. But no, here's the case, bro. There are a lot of inconsistencies around, how our government Liberia go about, handling cases, especially when it comes to people that they know proximity, and I think something is not right. I cannot say that they were the ones that brought in the drugs. Because my understanding is a transnational drugs. The drug was standard for Europe. But the problem is that if you keep having question of interest, or you don't have a suspect, you don't know arrest being made. The police chief was forced to tell the lawmakers, the senators, that an arrest will be made this week, and today's Friday, and probably they are already made an arrest. The Liberian kind of style. They take it to the post or to the central prison at 5:30 or 5:59 to 6 o'clock. The courts are all closed, so you cannot issue bail. You spend the weekend there. But I think it's allowed to be unpacked, and and this kind of investigation requires a lot of time. They have to be very careful how they go about it. Otherwise, they may lose a case in court again. Because no, we all know that the government always loses case in the court. Our government, like, matter of fact, all our prosecutors, I don't know how they go about gathering evidence. So what I would say in closing is that let them do the right thing. If they have these people who they know are responsible for this, suspect, arrest them, bring it to the public there, and move on. Yeah.
Limp, I want you to be the last on this. Mark, give me the whole scenario. This dragging, why the Senate should be calling for the arrest of somebody, and this is security matter. I think according to the IG, they're investigating it. They don't want to jump to conclusion, and people, he's doing his work, and he's not wanting no evidence yet. Probably saying that there must be some evidence to arrest somebody. From the security point of view, what do you think these guys did? Some names, I'm not looking at Paul now, should be connected. They have not been big names, have not been arrested.
First of all, I would say this whole drugs issue from one government to another is a complete security. It's a debacle on the security apparatus and on the Liberia government. Okay, because first of all, the legislature, the only thing they're supposed to be doing is questioning the security apparatus. Is not wrong as to why they have not gone about the case in the way that they should have. And two, there's nowhere in the world that you have the security apparatus or the police informing the criminals that, oh yeah, we are coming to arrest, we are coming to arrest, we are coming to arrest, we are coming to arrest. That's a red flag right there. You are informing the criminal to get prepared and to run away or to escape. That because the reason why you're doing that is that other big fish are involved. So that those smaller fish, you are wanting them to get away, and then when they get away, then you come with ghost name that doesn't exist in the first place to start naming people. Oh, this one escaped, this one escaped, and this one escaped. And then to the bigger people be protected. Or like those names that you already start circulating in the media and among the public, you also have some sort of a because if they don't escape, if the person know that okay they're going to be arrested and then go to court, and how they call it transparent that case going to be. For example, are they going to serve real sentence, or are they going to be given the kind of a so-called sentence that, oh yeah, please go to prison, and at night we're going to put you outside, you get protection, you stay with your family. By 5 o'clock in the morning, you got a car to come and pick you up, and you go back. So this kind of a nonsense. It's a complete failure on the Liberal government part and on our security. Had it been a good government and with the head right, the president would be calling for the resignation of all those directors, from the police to the national security, if possible, the chief of staff of the armed forces, because they are also involved. You cannot have a country like Liberia of 5 million people, and you got drugs coming in the country from one government to another. I wish the Liberian people cry out like they are under this government when $100 million drugs was in Liberia during the WIA administration time, and that some son was connected, because according to our state retrospect, that Cham WIA, okay, was the one that received the 3 suspects that were arrested and sent to prison, and those guys, the money that were caught on them, and the judge went and released them like they did in this particular case, and those guys left the country. So were they blackmailed in releasing these guys to say, hey, you have to release us, or if you don't release us, you send us, we got people outside the country that are going to call names of your people that are involved. So for that reason, they released the guy, and the guys were free. And then to the size of the harm when it comes to the drugs issue is you. There's nothing you can compare it to, and you can measure it with, right? Because be a unity partisan or a CDC or an ANC partisan or a CMC partisan, we have people, friends, family members that are affected one way or the other. So it doesn't know border in the first place. So Liberian people, if they are serious, I'm going to say this. I had a chat with Paul the other night. If the Liberian people themselves are serious, you don't need government to come and clean your community of drugs. First of all, you set up a vigilante force. Every drugs, every ghetto that is in your area, okay, in your community, you set up a force. You go to that drugs dealer house. You do what is necessary to get your community clean of drugs. The first thing, if you know that person is a drugs dealer living in your community, you also do what is necessary that person leave your community, but not sell drugs in your community. But some of these same people that are calling on the government, they know some of these drugs dealers. They see these drugs dealers passing in the community. They see some of these ghetto right in the community that they live, but they're waiting for government to come and act before they can take matter into their own hands, because the drugs is killing their children in the community.
Yeah. All right. Linford, 2 things here. I think after Linford, some of this question will make some of you guys may comment. That's the last of it, gentlemen. If you just join us, this is for Liberia or coming to life in Europe. We're discussing issues that are making headlines in Liberia. Linford, 2 things here. I want you to talk on this. Insufficient evidence against key suspects. Paul King has turned witness, is not a suspect. So Paul King, rather than facing arrest, is formally requested witness protection and declare himself cooperating witness. So if he's submitting voluntary statement, right, deny knowledge of the shipment of identifying an alleged shipper, or like the name they call Rahim Bar, the shipper hasn't been publicly confirmed anyway. So where deep, because the Senate is asking, pushing, because the Senate is saying that a question by the security is just an excuse. Paul King should be arrested, but Paul now is a witness. Tell me, what do you see this case going? Linford. Linford, you guys can cancel it because this is a very critical point we are in with the drug issue. The guy we expect to be the suspect terms as witness. So he has to be protected as a witness.
You know, Liberia is a very interesting country. President Donald Trump does not live in Venezuela. He went to Venezuela, arrested. In fact, before arresting Maduro, I think the American Navy did attack some people that were on the sea, and they said they were carrying drugs.
Killed few people on the sea.
Mm-hmm. And then they went and arrested Maduro and his wife and brought them to America in jail on suspicion of sponsoring drug cartel or running drugs.
That's what I said.
But in Liberia, our government arrested drug at the airport, the physical drug. That one not on suspicion. And then you sit there and you want sufficient evidence. What evidence do you need to arrest Paul King? Okay, let's say that it wasn't Paul King that brought the drugs, but in logistics, at the airport, or even if it's sending container, anything sending a container, you got to have a bill of lading with everything on it, the consignee and the consignor. So the person who's sending it and the person who will receive it, all of them name on the store. So you having a logistic company, you Paul King, you should know who is sending this item according to your bill of lading, and then who will receive it. So those items did not just come to the airport. Okay, how did Menzi, his company, get it? From who? And who were they sending it to? Those items are not going to
he's providing those information already. That's why he's a witness. So, but those information have not been declared, but the government is aware that he's providing those information because he's a witness.
In most cases, witnesses can be arrested. So if somebody was walking and you saw a dead body and you found a dead body, yeah, you will be witness. I saw the person lying down, but they will hold you first.
Look, Linford. Sorry, I had to come in with this. If the Liberia government is serious, along the executive branch and the legislature, right? If they are serious, it is time now that they pass a law in Liberia that life sentence for drugs, no matter the quantity, like Singapore that have a death sentence, or these Asian countries, Malaysia and some of the Arab countries, if they want to clean our country of drugs, for that matter, they pass life sentence or capital punishment be introduced in Liberia. That's the only way you send a strong message.
We haven't.
I come in Linford. Capital punishment be introduced in Liberia when it comes to drugs. They think that they call drugs. That's the only way you're going to deter people when it comes to the drugs business in Liberia.
You gotta arrest the people first before you can institute or constitute capital punishment. But here the draw is we find the people here. So we going to punish.
No, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about if we want to clean this country up.
We don't have any. I mean, that leave for 1 minute. Look, we have all the good laws on the book for drugs. Even you put a law that you say catch a man, kill a man tomorrow. Implementation of the law, it will not happen. And the problem with Liberia, we got laws. The drug law was basically a tailor adapter and like the American drug law. It's not beatable. It's this and that. Still we go after the who's smoking marijuana in the shop on the street, the baby people in Nigeria. So to speak, no disrespect to Nigerians.
Francis saying they were arrested drugs, but you can't see the owner of the drugs.
But so this means to us, gentlemen, I don't want to conclude this, okay, but I know it's late.
I didn't really learn.
Yeah, finish so we can conclude on this.
But yeah, in the air, I'm not doing using.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is, you get a physical drugs. So even if this man is still witness right now, I agree, because he the one was in charge of the drug. But and if you read, Delon posted something. He said you saw the drug. You saw the person, the warehouse where it was. The person who owns the warehouse. The person who are keeping it. So what more evidence do you need to arrest this man? Arrest the man. Let me tell you, you can't have a witness who is.
Well, we said this thing that Dylan is acting like he's the smartest lawmaker in Liberia. We said these things. I think you were on vacation, boy. We said this thing on the show before other people start running away. Why is it there have not been any arrests up to now? You went and Paul kept saying it on this show, okay? That now they are getting serious. They're asking these questions when this thing had been going on for the past, couple of weeks.
Yeah, gentlemen. Okay, on that, Leaf, have you ended? So the point is this: it shows to me that if Paul came to himself as a state witness, which is being protected by the witness voluntary witness protection, then it does says to us that somebody is shielding a well-connected figure rather than protecting the investigation integrity. Like, are they not shielding somebody? Because no arrest has been made. Paul has turned himself as witness. No arrest made. So where do we see the end to this case, gentlemen? I want you to comment on that so we can come to our comment.
Let me make it quick because I will close now. In the case, let me give you an example. The former president of the Philippines, Duterte, right?
Yeah, Duterte.
This is the man who declared war on drugs. Wherever they suspected drugs, the people there will die. Just suspicion. Yeah, just suspicion.
Clean the Philippines. I can tell you that.
You see, and I can tell you that today there's a lot of drugs in the Philippines, but it's not like it used to be before.
It used to be you had a lot of junkies everywhere.
Between 2018 to 2017, I frequented Philippines more than 20 times. So I know what I'm telling you about.
You couldn't find somebody with marijuana easily.
See? So now, if the government is serious, parking should be the first victim. I'm not saying they should do this, but it should be beyond by why testifying, why showing other people. The people are playing on intelligence. You can't be logisticians. You can't be the man who handle the goods and you say you start calling people who predict. So diplomacy in this case that you got to make parking. That man you put a hand on hand, you cutting a boom, you call the people need.
Okay.
So
right.
I have to
thank you very much. I know it's a quick. Thank you very much. I know it's a quick. It's very, very late at your end. I want you to give me 2 minutes each on your takeaway from here tonight. And this being July 3rd. That's our edition. It's Friday and it's a weekend. I need somebody needs to go out and go chill a little bit. I know somebody at my end will say I want to go out. Come on, Jamal, don't hold me here too long. So, but let me give you, Francis, the first chance to give me a takeaway. Francis, what do you got for tonight? You're taking away
in general, it was a good discussion. I will leave my thoughts on the highlights of the drugs first. It's a time now that it's about time that the government do some arrest. There are a lot of crowds about it. I think the mining task force will be a good thing for the government and to help enforce and curtail some of these deals, those illegal mining in the country. Yeah, so I think it was a good show, and nice seeing you guys again after a couple of weeks being away. Tomorrow I might be on the show. It will just be, a free flow show tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's the story show. Linfo, I know you're leaving as well. Go on. Then I'll leave a mark.
Yeah, my takeaway is this diaspora voting right. When people started talking about the dual citizenship, it started like this. Some people, I share my story with you. I have come from out and I was in school at that time, so I came to Norway. I came from I remember friends say, "Mama, I guess something that thing." So we argue about it. He said, "Mama, sign the thing." So I signed it. And then we always thought that the diaspora, dual citizenship would not work. It worked. So now we are embarking on another layer, which is the voting right. And a lot of skeptics looking at all the, and for me, it's very good because the moment when you begin to criticize things, something you want to do, you start to criticize yourself first. Am I right? Am I doing it the right way? What does the future look like? When you do those things, is when you plan properly instead of just rushing to do something. So now that at least people are beginning to see the complexities that lie ahead of time, I think it's the right thing they're doing. But that doesn't mean that we cannot progress. So I'm sure that it will work. Let's try. If we fail, well, I know since somebody who were killed for failing. Even when we went to school, if you fail, you gotta repeat the class. They can't kill you. So let's try. If we fail, we can start again. But we should not let the unexpected year ahead of us take us to the point that we cannot, do anything. And then the next thing I want to do is this, antecedent mining thing where they say they want to arrest people. Yes, start with the big community for go and clear, revisit. And that one thing Mr. Cummings said I like, they'll revisit the contract, revisit it, and see. Some of the contract was signed on Ellings and Joe Yakin, yes, slide away, and some was signed on where, and Boacakin sliding away, but they send your task force to go arrest people doing as antecedent or no, that's not a solution. Okay, your citizens are looking for work to do. That's why they're going to go mine. If they get job, they will not. Nobody will get good job. Somebody graduate from university get good job in accounting. You're not going to go and teach them. No. So
thank you.
Let the government revisit the stuff. And then coming to this drug thing, the people, all of them playing with us. They playing with really Liberian people. You cannot huge concern of drug that, but again, let me tell you let me tell you, this thing that people are playing with, they don't know how it will affect this government in many ways, especially from the international community. Because that draw a destiny for Europe, and the Europeans will not take that thing lightly. Okay, America will not take that thing lightly. You can't be transporting drugs for your country as a government. It's illegal. We got a certain president who is in jail in America for suspicion of drugs. And he's not the first. They did the same thing to Noriega. So if you as a certain government, you sit down there and you see drug in your country, and you say, oh, we can one witness, the man who received the drug, he the witness, the man are in jail. Man, are you a serious government? Then one money or the only pay account to you to come pay for money? No, zero. So you're better put on your thinking cap. I'll stop right there. Thank you so much and have a good night.
Okay, Mark.
I am going to go with Takun J. Omer Joseph Baga is a liar, one lying or sleeping Joe who can holler he's sleeping, but he hears more than a bat in a cave. But he's a lying old man who been lying through all his career. And he has lied to the Liberian people. Every doggone thing he promised the Liberian people he campaigned on, he has failed on that, and the Liberian people should never give him a chance. They should start a massive protest across the country after all the things he campaigned on. This old man is so, I mean, there's somebody that works in his office. I'm not going to put that person's life at risk, but the president told me that this old man, he's very, very dangerous. He keeps grudges. He doesn't forgive people easily. And watch, they're going to come after Edwin Snow. Yeke, the reason why the quiet on Edwin Snow is because of the outcry that Liberian, put out there for Yeke. But he's never going to forgive Edwin Snow for Edwin Snow revealing. So Joseph Baka, I end with Tagun J. He's a liar. And his government lied to the Liberian people. Thank you. Have a good night.
But Tagun J means when I made doing Joseph Bagatando.
When I made Joseph Bagatan, but that music continue.
Yeah,
anybody that come to power, Takun J continue. And we're going to keep Takun J forever. Once you come to power, you lie to the Liberian people, you deceive the Liberian people, even be the Alexander Cummings. If you come to power, you lie to the Liberian people, you deceive the Liberian people, with your small self, we're going to hang you on the tree and we're going to stone you. So, any president come to power, you lie to the Liberian people, we'll treat you with Takunje.
All right, okay. That brings us to the end of tonight's edition of the Bottom Line Liberia. Thank you for tuning in and engaging with us on these critical national issues. From the diaspora voting rights debate to questions surrounding Baka anti-money task force to the growing pressure on the $19.2 million investigation. Your voice matters. And we encourage you to keep the conversation going on the social platforms. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged. This has been the Bottom Line Liberia. I want to say thank you to my colleagues. That's Linfa Egongwe from Norway, Mark Judah from Sweden, and also the good friend, that Francis Monomensa from Sweden as well. I want to say thank you very much and have a blessed weekend. Thank you.
Same to you, my brother. You take care, guys.